Hey everybody, it is the Angry Honey Badger here, and it is time for Badger's Picks for the week of March 17th. Let's see who's free this week and what 4 champions I'm going to recommend. Free this week, it looks like we're going to get Darius, Diana, Draven, Fizz, Jax, Kog'Maw, Lux, Morgana, Shyvana, and Warwick. For my first recommendation for this week, gonna throw that one over to Diana. Been a big fan of her lately. If you just watched me do a build for her, you would have heard me say the exact same thing. We've also seen a resurgence of her in the mid lane recently. I still personally like her a little bit more in the jungle. She tends to struggle a little bit in lane until 6. Same can be said to a certain degree. Her ganks aren't as good in the jungle till 6 because, you know, that's just kind of how she works. But she survives the jungle very well, and she can farm it incredibly hard to put her in a good place. So that's the other reason why I like her in the jungle. She's incredibly fun to play too, and if you really haven't had a chance to play a lot of Diana, you might want to play her now because she's in a good spot. My next recommendation for this week, I'm going to give that one to Morgana. Morgana has been really picked for, she's over a year now pretty consistently. A lot of it comes down to the Black Shield being a big reason for it, at least in the support role. We've also seen the resurgence of her coming into mid and in top lane because she has carried over really good damage for a long time, and the spell shield, once again, just still really carries a lot of weight when you get into team fights for protecting people or for initiating on yourself if you have become a big damage threat and you really can't get locked down then either. Morgana's a good pick. I think a lot of people can learn too a lot from her with skill shots because the bind is fairly slow moving, to be honest, and so if you practice it and get pretty good with it, it can actually come and affect other champions you do play. So if you've never played Morgana too much, you might want to try it this week. Next champion for this week I'm going to recommend, gonna give that one to Darius. I've been a fan of Darius quite a bit over the last few months. Now, I haven't really played him tons, but I do actually like his current position. He does okay against some of the beefier top laners that we have been seeing, mostly because he's got true damage that can shred through them. Other reasons I like him too is I think he surprises a lot of people with the damage that he does bring. Also, there used to be a big fear in team fights that everybody would avoid Darius to avoid his dunks. What they eventually ended up doing in teamfights was they were ignoring too many other threats, therefore he was able to actually get them off. It's kind of a weird combination trade-off going on, but I feel like he's almost underplayed because people think that he's like not exactly strong in lane. Well, that's not true. I think he actually does quite well in lane. He does find a weird transition part, but he can split push if you don't want to team fight with him pretty good. So play him, try him out, you might be surprised. And as for my final recommendation for this week, gonna throw that one to Shyvana. Shyvana has received a small buff recently, and as much as I don't think it will see a massive resurgence of her, I think it will help people out surprisingly well in team fights. I do like her. I don't know where I want to play her currently, which may sound confusing. She was a strong top laner for a very long time. We've seen more Kennons and Rumbles recently. That kind of shuts her off a little bit since there's really not a ton of range to her kit early on, but I think she's actually got pretty good jungle clear, and because of the new tweaks to the items, I think she's gonna be strong there as a jungle tank. So, not really predicting anything here, but I'm just saying, if you want to play some tanky jungle Shyvana, I think she might actually be quite good there. Give it a shot this week. Those are going to be the 4 champions I'm going to recommend for this week. I want to know what 4 out of these 10 you might be playing this week. Leave me a comment down below and let me know. I like to know. It's fun to know. And then I might know what to make builds for. Also, I know people wanted a Darius quick build. If he gets a little bit more support behind the votes for him, he might also get one soon. So just a heads up on that. If you want to vote for him, go over there and do that. But those are going to be the champions that are free. If there's a box around any of these portraits for them, it means you can click on it and it will take you to a build and guide of some kind. But other than that, good luck this week on the Fields of Justice.